Yo, what's up? What's up, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers? Hold on, let me check, make sure everything is sounding right and all that stuff. What's going on, people? How's your weekend doing? All right, it's sounding good. All right, let me do this part right here, because you know it's about to be real. Boom. All right. Yeah. What's going on, my fellow friends, my family, my fellow gamers? What's good, people? This is your boy Porter Rock 77, and I'm coming back at you live because we need to talk about this. I got to get it out of my chest. I gotta call the bullshit out. Let me fix this a little bit. I know camera angle's kind of weird. A lot of my furnitures have been moved. Getting ready to move out to Germany. What's up, my peoples? Hold on, let me pop out the chat real quick so I could get this out. Let me set this up. Excuse me a minute. I'm kind of parched right now. All right, we got this right here. My man Mark Woodland, what's going on? Luca, what's good, girl? Tuda, what's up? Riz Biz, 6996. George Rodriguez, Daniel J, what's going on? Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Man, I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. Dark Lord, Alucard, what's going on, brother? Dark Side Havoc, Don Julio, what's going on, bro? King Thrash, relax. Now, what's going on, brother? What's going on? Call me Jay. What's good, Jay? Garuda, $5 super chat. Damn, already kicking it off. What's going on, man? Appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thank you, brother. We're about to speak some truth because I'm going to call the BS, all right? All right, but we're gonna let the chat roll in. If you don't mind, hit that like button, retweet out to Twitter. Let's get the crowd going. Let's get the chat popping. Let's get the conversation going. Because I'm about to get my preach on. You know what I'm saying? My man Pose, what's up? That's right, it's church. You know what I'm saying? All too easy. We about to call the bullshit about what's going on. We about to call. I'm about to call this BS. All right, because I've been seeing the Twitter. I've been seeing the comments. Seeing the tweets, the conversations, and it's getting out of hand. All right. So I gotta push out my perception on why this BS is happening. All right. And we're gonna talk that. We're gonna talk to that. All right. Right now, how many we got? We got 37 people watching, so it's rolling along. I got 9 likes. Again, hit the like button. Let's get people up in here and let's get this chat popping. So if you don't mind, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. I thank you for all the support you guys have been pushing up. I really appreciate it. All right, helps out the channel. Channel's been growing, and it's been growing because of dudes like you and dudettes to all my fellow gamers. All right, you all been kicking it. All right, my man 6986. Hey yo, P Rock, why you and Baron beat the fuck out of those Xbox last night multiplayer? You know what I'm saying? We were just having conversations. You know what I'm saying? That's all that is. We have gaming conversations and all that. 2 topics. I actually wanted to talk to 2 topics. So let me edit the title: Reason Why Politicians Going After the Gaming Industry and My Views About Fanboys. And my views. Let me edit the title. Views about fanboys. I'm gonna create something up. So I say, there you go. All right. So I'm gonna start out with the politics. We'll start out with that since that's what's the headliner right there. All right. We'll talk on. But before I start with anything, I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. It's Saturday and stuff like that. Easy day, been cleaning the house and doing some stuff. Woo! If y'all don't know, I'm getting ready to move to Germany. Just gonna have a fantastic time over there. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna spend 3 years out there. My man Daniel J says it's funny how Trump blames video games. I bet his son plays games too, right? Yeah, his maybe so. And that's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk. It's just mind-boggling how this just keeps happening. All right, we got 47 watching. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a busy day and stuff like that. Here we go. So we're gonna kick this off. All right, I'm not gonna be around the bush too much. All right. Thank you so much for the super chat. All right, thank you for supporting. Also, if you don't know, you can also sponsor the channel if you choose to, and also there's also PayPal if you choose to continue to support the channel. Because I know some people that are on iOS. They're not able to hit up the super chat and stuff like that. But either way, if you don't, whatever you do, I'm just glad what you guys are doing the most is appreciated. All right. But here we go. Hurry up and move already. Laughing on my time frame. Yeah, no doubt. My man Mark Williams in the UK. So time frame is going to change a little bit. All right. But let's get with the topic. So we all know about the incident that happened in Florida. Now I'm going to use certain words because the reason why I have to call it an incident, because certain words on YouTube trigger uh, the video, so they did monetize the stuff, and then it gets all weird, and then I get flagged. All weird shit happens when you talk about certain subjects, so YouTube starts getting weird, all right? But we all know what happened in Florida. My prayers to the families that lost people there, and it's a terrible incident, right? Absolutely terrible. And on that topic, right, I'm going to just say my view. I'm going to say my view real quick, so that way I'm not around the bush. My man Garuda $5 super chat says, just let me know the German time when you pull up. No doubt, no doubt, man. I'm gonna keep you all in the know as best as possible. All right, I'm gonna keep you. All right, so I'm gonna give you my view. All right, I am a Second Amendment advocate. I'm gonna just repeat. I'm gonna just put it this way, because I know people talk about, I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in the Constitution and all that it does. I don't pick and choose what portion of the Constitution that I prefer. Are there things about the Constitution that is annoying, that pisses me off? Of course, but that's part of it. Like, do I get annoyed that rapists, child molesters, murderers at times get away with crimes because their Miranda rights or their constitutional rights have been violated? Therefore, the case is thrown away, and they got away with murder, rape, child molestation completely clean? Yes, that pisses me off. But I will not change the Constitution simply because I don't like that portion. All right? Okay? The Constitution is the Constitution in this country, for those that understand what the U.S. is. So I don't pick and choose what part. All right? Part of the Constitution is freedom of speech. I equivocally believe in the freedom of speech. The Constitution gives you freedom, of religion. Whatever religion you choose, you have the right to have faith in that religion, which also means you also have the right to be free from that religion, right? I believe that government shouldn't push down religions their throat. So when people say, do you believe prayer should be in school? I believe prayer should be in school in terms of the individual, meaning if I sit down during lunch and I pray over my food, that is that student's right. But do I believe a teacher should force all students to be like, hey, we're going to sit down and pray right now? I don't believe in that. The teacher has no place in doing that. The individual student, yes, let the individual student do what that student wants to do. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't like what the individual student do, don't look at them. None of your business. They're exercising their right. But do I feel a principal needs to ordain and tell everybody to do this? No, I don't. That's not his place. You see what I'm saying? That's the Constitution. So, as far as the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms is our constitutional right. It's in there. That's what we have. But do I think pro-gun owners like myself should have a responsibility to help have a system in place to where gun ownership can be safer, to where gun ownership can be less accessible to those who shouldn't have it, criminals, the mentally unstable, etc., while maintaining the rights of law-abiding citizens to have access to them? Of course. But I completely agree that we should have the conversation, though. It shouldn't be just la, 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 la. I don't want to hear what you guys say. You're an idiot. It shouldn't be that way. We need to talk about it, all right? So do I agree there should be some type of reform? And to me, reform is, hey, let's take a step back. Let's look at the laws that we do have. Let's look at the laws each state have. Let's make sure there's no loopholes. Let's make sure that there's no way people who aren't supposed to get weapons can get weapons simply because there's a loophole. Like, for example, what state it was? I read an article 3 days ago. Was it Missouri? Well, one of the states is finally, in 2018, closing a loophole where people who are convicted of domestic violence cannot have access to weapons. Now, in most states, if you're convicted of a domestic violence, you can no longer own a gun. But in Missouri, you can't, simply because there's certain levels of domestic violence. I don't want to say Missouri, but the state that I read on, some of those domestic violence charges or convictions were misdemeanors. So because they were misdemeanors and not felony, you can still get a gun. I'm like, whoa, well, what are we doing here? You see what I'm saying? It's stuff like that we need to look at. We need to make sure, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? We need to look at. So like something as simple as, let's say if a student gets kicked out of high school, expelled, for violent behavior and violent, aggressive attacks, fighting, attacking students and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, a year later, when the kid turns 18, is buying guns. Maybe we should have something in place where that gets flagged. Like, wait a minute. You already have a history of violence. Like, what are you doing this with all these weapons? I mean, granted, you're right, but you already shown a history of violence. Like, what are we doing here? Well, there should be a flag somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? Things like that. That's what we need to start looking through and stuff like that. All right. I'm just looking at some of the comments here. Before I move on to the politician gamings, there's one thing I don't agree, and I see this. I see two things that's happening. First, I'm gonna address the teacher being armed. I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with arming every teacher. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. All right. Now I'm gonna tell you why. Look at me. All right. Everybody knows that I'm in the Marine Corps. Everybody knows that by now. All right. And I seen Marines, United States Marines, that cannot shoot the pistol for shit. Garbage. No, like bad. Like the bullets are hitting the ground. Like the target's up here, the bullets are hitting like bad. Bad. I've seen some shit where people just don't know how to shoot a pistol. Even with training. They like suck at it. Like it's bad. It takes an act of God for them to just even get the minimum score just to barely pass. And boy, do they barely pass like after the fourth or fifth try. It's bad. Some people just can't shoot a pistol. With the amount of schools that we have across this nation, as bad as these incidents across, that we had over the last 10 years, 15 years, whatever, but with the amount of schools that we have across this nation, imagine if every teacher was armed. Oh my God. These incidences would be the last thing in our minds. Do you know how many accidental shootings we would have? And even in the military, I'm in the military, right? And we have misfires. We have accidental shootings. We have Marines getting accidentally hurt for mishandling weapons. And this is our duty. And I'm sure it's the same in the Army, Navy, and Air Force. Accidents happen, especially when you deal with weapons all the time. It's just the nature of the business. People get complacent. Imagine teachers all across the nations who are not even trained, get very little to no training on this. Imagine the amount of accidents we'll see, amount of people that get hurt. And then on top of that, right? And this is what I'm afraid of most of all. How many teachers are going to pull the I shot the student because I was afraid for my life? You don't have that now because they don't have the opportunity to say that. They don't have anything to use and come back and say, well, I was scared for my life. So notice we don't have to deal with that. But you arm every teacher, I guarantee you're going to see more and more teacher on student deaths. And the teachers will say they were afraid for their lives. That's because that's the ultimate defense, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Scenarios that normally would not result in a death will result in deaths. That's I guarantee. We've seen videos where students get out of hand and they're flipping chairs and they walk out the class, right? We've seen that all the time in YouTube. Guarantee some of those incidences, if a teacher had a gun, that student would be dead. Because the teacher would have been afraid. The teacher would have felt, oh, the student's going to attack me and hurt me and kill me. Guarantee it. We're going to have it. We don't need that stuff right here. All right? All right? Daniel J. filed out super chat. He says, why not enforce a law where you have to go under psychiatric evaluation in order to have a gun to make sure you are mentally sound? What do you think about that? I like the idea. I think that the idea is great. I don't have a problem with it, to be honest, at all. I know the main issue that's going to be around that is who's going to pay for it. And it doesn't really change the fact that a person who buys a gun today doesn't mean they're not going to be mentally unstable 10 years from now. I mean, it's that Yeah, like Paul says, somebody could be mentally sound when they buy it, but then snap years later. It's a really tough subject. All right. I think some of the things we can look at is definitely, like I said, review the laws that we have in place, look at state laws where there's loopholes or ways to circumvent the system. And I think the punishment needs to be a lot more tougher. It needs to be a lot more aggressive when it comes to owning weapons. You know, a lot more tougher. And I think certain things that needs to be tracked. You know, like the sale of weapons from private to private citizens needs to be tracked. I think there's certain things we could definitely do to improve how we govern weapons. You know, but now let's talk about the main point right here: politicians. So once again, these incidences are being blamed on video games. All right. Apparently, video games, gaming is contributing to the mental instability of gamers, of people, which could potentially have them cause and do these crazy things, act out violence and stuff like that, because they're learning violence from video games. Let's cut the crap. That's just straight BS. All right. Americans here ain't consuming anything different that the rest of the world is not consuming. We're playing all the same games. People, you guys, many of you are from Europe. You're playing the same games we are. People in Japan, Asia, you know, they're playing the same games we have. Hell, some of those games are even weirder. And you don't see them, you don't see people overseas acting a fool, right? Some of us have been playing games for decades. I've been playing video games for decades. And at no point in my mind do I want to go crazy on a school or just go around and harm innocent people. That's not even in my DNA. You understand? So why are these politicians pushing this agenda? Why is this agenda being pushed? You know, they're talking about studies. What studies? How is the rest of the world not having these issues, but only we are? And then we have other sources of media, movies, music. They're violent as hell. So why is the politicians going after the gaming industry with this nonsense? The fact is, all right, the fact is, it's the greed. And people, you guys are probably thinking, greed, Porter. Why are you talking about greed? Do you realize we all know gaming is a huge multi-billion-dollar industry? An industry that's bigger than movies, an industry that's bigger than music. It's absolutely huge. It's huge. Yet, despite how big gaming industry is, I'm looking around and I don't see anybody in the gaming industry lobbying for politicians. You ever notice that? Do you see EA trying to lobby for a politician to protect gaming interest? You don't see EA. You don't see Activision. You don't see Sony, Microsoft. You don't see Valve. You don't see DICE organization or the AIAS organization. You don't see any of these organizations lobbying for dollars, helping out with political campaigns. Gaming industry is not even into that. They're not into lobbying people. So I have a feeling politicians don't like that, to be honest. That's my honest opinion. You got an organization, you got an industry making all these billions of dollars. Like, imagine if I'm a politician, right? I'm one of these greedy politicians, right? And I'm looking at this multi-billion-dollar industry, and I'm like, man, you guys making a crap load of money. You got the NRA, giving us checks. You got pro-life organizations giving us checks. You got pro-choice organizations giving us checks. You got churches giving us checks, and you ain't giving us no checks? Nah, dog. We can't have that. We can't have you guys making all these billions and we don't get a cut. Nah. Churches gives us a cut. Pro-life organizations gives us a cut. Pro-choice organization gives us a cut. NRA gives us a cut. Anti-gun organizations gives us a cut. Everybody is given a cut. Everybody's lobbying for dollars. The Fed's contracts, everybody. Everybody's lining money to these politicians' pockets. Politicians are making money through campaign donations. But they're not getting enough from the gaming industry. An industry bigger than movies, an industry bigger than music, and we can't get a dime out of these guys? You guys ever thought about that? How these politicians just simply aren't getting any money from these guys? So how can politicians get some money? How can they dip into that multi-billion-dollar industry? How can they dip in the industry that's bigger than Hollywood and music? Simple. Create policies, create laws that goes against the gaming industry's interest. Make it harder for the gaming industry. You know, I think Rhode Island wants to, I think it's Rhode Island, they want to implement a tax specifically on mature rated games. So if there's any game that's M rated, there's an extra 10% tax. So in Rhode Island, if you're out there in Rhode Island, you're going to be paying an extra 10% on mature rated games if this measure goes through. That hurts the gaming industry because now the gaming is more expensive. So if politicians keep creating laws, creating policies that doesn't help the gaming industry, that actually hurts the gaming industries, that hurts them in a way of them from reaching out to a broader audience, making money, making profit. If politicians keep enacting these laws and these laws go through, then guess what the gaming industry has to do? The gaming industry would then have to lobby. They would have to go to these politicians and lobby for them to remove these laws and to make sure these laws never, ever come back in play. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those, you ever seen those movies where the crime organizations, the mafias, whatever, they send their goons out to supermarkets and grocery stores and be like, hey, we're here to collect protection money because we're here to make sure nothing happens to you. So we're going to come by every week. It's nothing but protection money. Because, you know, if you don't pay that protection money, something bad's going to happen. We're just here to make sure it doesn't, if you know what I mean. That's exactly what these politicians are doing. They're going after the gaming industry to put them in a position where they now have to start lobbying, putting money towards the super PACs and all that stuff, putting money towards campaigns to prevent politicians from enacting laws that hurt the gaming industry. That's all this shit is. You ain't got to do a damn thing about children. Like, get out of here. You bugging. These dudes now, oh, we need to look into the mass amount of violence because, you know, it's impacting children. Are you kidding me? These are the same people that don't even care about universal health care, but you want to care about the mental stability of people. Nah, we're not doing that here. You guys are not low. You guys are full of shit. Get out of here, all this bullshit. You don't give a shit about us. You're more worried about, you know, the medical industry is making billions of dollars before you care about the healthcare of the people. But in this subject, oh, we gotta pay attention to the mental. Get the fuck out of here. You're wasting my dollars, you being a representative. All you're doing is wasting my time. I'm not voting for any politician that co-signs this, you know, video game is causing violence. You're wasting my time. You don't care. You really don't care. You're full of shit. All right? This isn't about you actually care about the mental therapy or whatever, or the mental health fitness of gamers. Nah. You trying to line your pockets with lobbying money, and you're trying to force the gaming industry to start lobbying for you. You're just a waste of time. You ain't getting my vote. I don't care your political views on any other topic, because the way I see it, you're a waste of time. You're getting paid by taxpayer money to represent this country, and you need to focus on real issues. But if you're too busy trying to attack gaming industry because you have an ulterior hidden motive to get some super PAC money, to get some lobbying money, you're dead. Go find new employment, because we're not voting for you no more. We're not voting for you. We don't care what your other stance is. You're a waste of time. My man Daniel J, I wrote P-Rock to lobby for us gamers. You damn right. I got all your backs on this one. You're wasting our time, Don't come and pretend you're doing us a favor. No, you want that multi-billion-dollar industry money. You're selfish. You lack ethics. You lack morals. You're only in it for yourself. You're not even focusing on the right issue. Of all this shit that truly is wrong with this country, you want to go after something that's non-existent. Because yes, this whole thing about gaming causes violence is non-existent. It's people that are looking at the gaming industry and they see how big it is and how much money it is, and they want in. That's all it is. They want their piece of the cut. They want a piece of that pie. Even though they're not doing shit about it. They're not gamers. They're not developers. They're not publishers. They don't know anything about gaming. They don't even care about gaming. But gaming money is too big. Gaming money is huge. And gaming industry has a target on its back because it's huge. It's bigger than Hollywood. That's what this is about. You ain't got to give about, they care about kids. What? If you actually cared about the youth of America, you will create a better system to help have more young Americans have access to college education. That to me shows you care. Because why wouldn't you want your young citizens to be educated? It blows my fucking mind. But y'all ain't doing that. Y'all ain't talking about that. If you really cared about the health of your American citizens, then work towards a system of universal health care. But no one talks about that. I understand there's issues, universal care and taxes or whatever, but have the conversation. Find a way to make it work. Not even trying to do that. Yo, these politicians, the truth is, I have more respect for rock stars and basketball players than the politicians we have today. Because at least the rock stars, the rappers, and the basketball players, football players, they actually admit who they are. They're superstars. It's all about me. Take a camera, flash your lights. It's all about me and the money. It's all about me being a champion. It's all about the money. Politicians pretend, I'm doing this, because I grew up to represent the people. My dad came from this country and we didn't have. Shut the fuck up. You want your pockets laced. Stop the bullshit. You don't give a fuck about representing. You use this as an avenue of approach to get yourself rich. Fuck out of here. My man, Garuda Spider Legend says, you're right. People was attacking The Last of Us 2 for having too many females, Spider-Man for not being Spider-Girl, and no female characters like Lara Croft. Everybody, you know what's funny? I swear to God, sometimes I look at Twitter and I see the critiques about video games, and sometimes I look at the account and I wonder if these people are even gamers at all. Or are they part of the industry trying to tap into gaming to attack it so they could pull some of that money up? So that way, the gaming industry could finally go on bended knee and say, we're sorry, here, we'll give you money. Oh, here, we'll lobby for you. Oh, no, please don't say this. We'll give you money. We'll give you money, please. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to cripple the gaming industry to force them to donate, to support campaigns, put into the super PAC, donate to this organization, donate to that organization, because gaming has lots of money. Oh, you guys have, gaming industry have lots of money, billions of dollars. It's time to take some of that money. And it's going to be a constant attack. Yet the stuff we need to focus on, whatever. Come on, man. Enough of the bullshit. Enough of that. I swear, I see a politician go on this gaming bullshit, I'm not voting for you. You're not getting my vote. You're not. I don't care what your other views are. And I'm not trying to say that I'm being a fanboy, that I'm choosing the gaming view over, obviously important views like pro-life, pro-choice, education, whatever. The reason why, by default, I'm not voting for them because they're wasting time. How much faith do you have in that politician in actually tackling real issues of healthcare, education, guns, Second Amendment rights, First Amendment rights, all the things that we have to do in this country? You understand what I'm saying? How much faith do you have that politician in spending time on those issues if they want to talk about game violence and gaming? You're obviously wasting people's time. You're not going to accomplish anything. It's just your own self-interest. You're trying to get some of that money. That's all that is. It's bullshit. You're just full of shit. And that's why I'm not going to vote for them. I'm not voting for people that's going to get paid by taxpayers' dollars and waste our time. Don't waste our time. Don't go talking about violence in the gaming industry. Shut the fuck up. You don't even know what you're talking about. You have no interest in the topic other than that it's a multi-billion-dollar industry and you want to put them in a position where they have to start lobbying for politicians in order to protect the industry. That's what y'all want. Once the gaming industry, I guarantee, once the gaming industry starts lobbying for dollars, we will never hear about gaming violence ever again. It will never, ever come up. In fact, politicians will start saying, games don't kill people, people kill people. You'll start hearing that, but you're only going to get that once the money starts flowing. My man, Ryan Landis, he says, years ago, the Justice Department raided Gibson guitars over and over, but didn't charge them at the time. It turns out that the owner refused to back any politicians. I'm telling you, bro, it's shady, man. My man Lionel, what's going on, brother? He says, yo, I just watched the Multi podcast for the first time. You and Baron are the dynamic duo, unstoppable tag team champions of the world. Yo, we bodied them dudes, bro, on the multiplayer podcast. They got bodied, bro. That was fun. I think there's gonna be a rematch next week. Yo, but me and Baron, yeah, we put in that work. It was funny. Oh yeah, go check it out. You'll enjoy it. All right. How long my OT? It's gonna be 3 years, so I'm gonna be out there for 3 years. All right. I'm gonna be in Germany for 3 years. For those asking how long. But I'm glad you enjoyed, Lionel Bug, and thank you for the super chat. I hope you enjoyed. We got them good, bro. Lionel, if you watched it, things wasn't going good for them when they started saying, well, what about Sony Disc? They make Blu-ray. Does that mean they're gonna make games for Xbox? I'm like, Blu-ray disc? What? Yo, that's what they were scraping for the bottom of the barrel. Yo, that shit was funny. Yo, when they said, yo, DVD and Blu-ray disc, oh, man, I was dying. I was like, yo, that's it. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yo, so I'm going to go on to the next topic. Listen, don't believe the hype, man. Listen, for me personally, any politician that talks about gaming violence and that we have to look into it, for me personally, you're not worth your weight in salt. Not happening. You're wasting my time. So I have no faith in you actually doing your job, your duty, and what you're supposed to be doing for this country. So I ain't voting for you. You're not getting my vote because you're a waste of time. You're a piece of shit. You just want to try to go after money, try to go after them lobby dollars, and that shit ain't happening. We're not doing that. We're going to go after real politicians who are going after real issues, all right? But that's how it is, all right? So I want to talk about, what was it? What was this? How do I say it? My feelings, my views on, my views about fanboys. All right, I'm going to tell you this. My views about fanboys. All right. I'll be honest. I'm going to tell you the real. I'm going to be real as I can. I actually don't have any issues with fanboys at all from any spectrum. I'll be honest. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't matter. What I don't like, I'll say the one thing I don't like are liars. That I don't like. I don't like liars. People who lie. And the reason why, people who spread misinformation. Now I will say I don't like that because what that does is, it just breeds ignorance, you know? And the more people that fit in that the more people that get fed those lies, the harder it is to have conversations about gaming. You know, I don't care if a gamer tells me, "Yo, PlayStation first party exclusives are garbage. I hate them all." I don't care about that. It don't bother me. You know, I'll talk shit and I'll pop shit, but in reality, it has nothing to do with me. It's not going to stop me from playing them. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really bother me. It doesn't bother me if a gamer goes, Sony delays a lot of their games. I really don't care. Like, it's whatever. It doesn't bother me. If they want to call it the delay station, things like that don't bother me, you know? But when people make up lies, even if it's like simple things like, you know, they make up a lie and say, oh, you know, God of War, you know, you can skip all boss battles. Now that's a lie. Because no, that's no one said that. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if a person likes or dislikes a platform, likes or dislikes games. It is whatever. It don't bother me. Like, look at me. I hang out with Zaire, right? Everybody knows that. I hang out with Zaire. I'm real cool people with him. I'm on his podcast. He sometimes comes on my podcast. You know, I shoot the shit with K Mega. I shot the shit with Xbot 448. I have no issues with people of different platforms and their preferences. It doesn't really bother me. I don't really care. You know, I'll do a podcast with any. You know, the only time I have issues with Fanboys is when they take shit personal. You know, they use derogatory terms. You know, they call me, you know, spick, or, you know, they call black people the N-word. You understand? Shit like that. It's shit like that's unnecessary. You know, that's the only time where I'd be like, what the hell? Get out of here. I ain't got time for this. You know, that's just unnecessary when he starts getting personal. But attacking the console, talking shit about PlayStation Online Network, lack of backwards compatibility, I don't care. It's just, you know, we pop shit, talk shit, whatever. Because I don't care about the fanboyism is the reason why I'm cool with doing a podcast with anybody. Because your preference, I've done podcasts with Kid Smooth, and he is a big fanboy. But I think Kid Smooth's a cool dude. Regardless the fact that, you know, he loves Xbox and he fucking lives and breathes Xbox. And he thinks Shadow Colossus and Bloodborne sucks. That don't bother me. It's just nothing. Me and him are cool. My man Lionel, I got mad love for my fanboys, but I have no respect for cheerleaders like Smooth and those three dudes who got clothesline in the multiplayer podcast. Oh shit, my man Lionel. Y'all remember you going at Kids Move. That shit, my man Lionel, bro. He ruthless. I'm telling you, my man Lionel's Yoshida. I'm telling you, bro. That dude's balling. Yo, I'm just saying I don't mind, because at the end of the day, it's just piece of plastic. Okay? My man says if you can't stand lies, why do you associate with Zaire? I'm gonna tell you. All right, so Zaire, he tells you guys over and over and over that he does this for entertainment. He can't tell you enough, right? He tells you over and over and over that he does this for entertainment. You understand what I'm saying? The guys that really annoy me is the ones who don't do it for entertainment. They actually try to lie and make it seem like they're educating you. You understand what I'm saying? That is where that's annoying. That's annoying. You know, when you try to, like, if you talk to Zaire and you have a serious gaming conversation, like, you know, when he goes and let's take the knife out the drawer and cut the bullshit, he will be real with you. If you're gonna have a real gaming conversation, he will straight up say what the fuck he is. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is like, you know, the $14,000 PC, the prison, you know, all that shit is a persona and stuff like that. But some people just, I don't know, they get bothered by that. All right. But when people take those personally and stuff like that, that's when it gets all hot, right? But here's my thing. The fanboys I find funny, because here's the thing. If you don't take it personal, if you don't really take it personal, right? Then to my opinion, you're not really a fanboy. Yeah, you could be on Twitter popping shit. Like, all right, like, I'll give you a perfect example. My man J Dub, Kratos. We all know Kratos, right? I don't consider him a fanboy at all. I don't. I don't consider him a fanboy on any level at all. Not one bone in his body spells fanboy to me. Why? Sure, he's on Twitter talking shit. His gift game is on point, and he'll go out the Xbox all day, right? On Twitter. But yet, in real life, the real dude, right? The real Kratos, the real J Dub City, right? As a person, donated 3 Xbox One X's in the month of November when the console launched to people who were not able to afford and get them. $1,500 he gave away. And he didn't do it as part of a Patreon subscription. He didn't do it. He didn't do one of those follow me and retweet for your chance to win. The people who got them, they didn't even know they were getting them. Fanboys don't do that. If he was a PlayStation fanboy, there's no way a PlayStation fanboy will give away $1,500 worth of Xbox hardware. You see what I'm saying? That's to me the real person, right? I know some people will say, "Oh, you're a fanboy, fanboy Puerto Rock," but the truth is, none of the. If I was a true fanboy, right? If I was a really true fanboy, then comments would bother me. You know what I'm saying? What I mean is when people talk shit about the PlayStation, it would bother me. If people who talk shit about PlayStation, I wouldn't associate with them. I would block them. I would ignore them. I would just stick with my PlayStation brethren. But I don't. I'm actually out everywhere. Some people feel I hang out with Xbox guys too much because it doesn't bother me. I don't get annoyed at the conversations people had about PlayStation. So what's funny is when I see people who call people fanboys, but yet when you see their tweets, when you see their comments, they get annoyed at seeing words, or they get annoyed at seeing people who talk shit. Like, why? How is that annoying you? Like, how is that driving you crazy or insane? These guys are just talking shit about a piece of plastic. How is that truly bothering you? How is that bothering you? Like, I just don't get it. I can understand if there's derogatory terms associated, or they're calling you, talking shit, calling you, fag, cursing out your kids. I can understand if they're taking stuff personally. All right, I get that. If it's personal. But if all they're doing is talking shit about a PlayStation, or if all they're doing is talking shit about a console, it's an attack on the piece of plastic. How is that truly bothering you? You see what I'm saying? Like, any dude that talks shit about PlayStation, you could follow me and we could shoot the shit on Twitter. I have one dude, I don't know, he's not in the chat now, but most of you know Infurious One. Yo, that dude stay on my timeline talking shit about PlayStation. My man stay talking shit. Yo, that dude be DMing me talking shit. And I don't have him blocked. You know why? Because he never crossed the line. He never insulted my race. He never told, he never cursed out my family. He never did anything personal. He just keeps like, "Oh, you ponies like soupy textures." And I'm like, that won't bother me. So I let him live. I even sometimes clap back, but I don't block him. I don't mute him because he's not doing anything that really bothers me. Even though he's consistently going at PlayStation, he's not doing anything I see bad. He's just talking shit and popping shit. So for me, my views on fanboys is really the ones who take it personal. If I see dudes who are like really upset, then I'll be like, "Yup, this dude is drinking the Kool-Aid. He's about that life. It's really personal. It really hurts him." And I could tell. I could tell by their reaction. I could tell by the tone of the conversation, or just how they reply and tweet. Dudes are really, truly hurt, or they stand by that product to the point where they're tied emotionally to it. They're just tied to it. And that to me is fanboyism. If you can't talk to people simply because they're talking shit about a console, then what does that say about you? Because all they're doing is talking shit about console. That's all they're doing. All they're doing is saying this console sucks. If that really bothers you, now I can see maybe you could be bored of the conversation. Like after a while, it could get boring. I could see that. Like you look on your timeline and you're like, all right, this is just a boring conversation. So you mute it because it's just boring. All right, I get that. But to be upset, like, and I see like shit talking about PlayStation all the time. I don't get upset. If I see something that's a lie or misinformation, I go on that topic. I'd be like, boom. Like, if you notice, I don't spend my time making videos about 4K resolution or stuff. I don't give a shit about that. Xbox One X has better resolutions and whatever, better performance. It is what it is. It don't bother me, right? But if I see some misinformation, all right, which could potentially misinform gamers, then those topics I interject. I'd be like, hey, da 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 da, do my little information, maybe show a link or two on the facts, and then that's it is what it is. But other than that, it's all good, right? That's what's all it to me. So to me, the real fanboys are the ones that are emotional about this. That's to me, that's just my opinion. It's not the ones who are out there talking shit about the console. It's not the ones talking shit about the online or the games. It's the ones who when you clap back, it's personal. Or the ones who take it personal. That's to me, those are the fans. It goes on every side. PlayStation, Xbox, PC. Those dudes that take it personal, those are the fanboys, in my opinion. Because it's personal. You guys like it's hurting you. It's like really hurting you. And that's funny to me because I don't see how insulting an inanimate object that's plastic could bother you. I just don't see it. Let's see. My man Lionel, there's such thing as objective fanboys like yourself and I expect a lot more from Sony to point to the point they disappointed me because they allowed the Xbox to exist. Oh shit. Lionel, yo, this dude's brutal. You know what I'm saying? This dude's brutal. All right. So, like, for example, my man Lionel, you know what I'm saying? He's popping shit, he's popping jokes, he's out there killing it, right? So if you're an Xbox dude and you read that tweet, did that tweet actually bother you? Or are you just gonna clap back and have fun and stuff like that? You see what I'm saying? That's all it really is. Did that tweet really bother you, or are you just gonna clap back, you know, and talk your bullshit and stuff like that? You see what I'm saying? And that to me is what it is. You know what I'm saying? All right. Like I said, on Twitter, I could take a punch just as good as anybody else. People clap back at me all the time. People be talking shit at me all the time. And I don't mute them. I don't block them. We cool and stuff like that. Because it's just, you know, it's just part of I guess the gaming culture, you know. But dudes that take it serious or take it to a place where, man, take it to a place where it don't belong. That's where I'd be like, all right, the fanboyism is strong in you. You know what I'm saying? And that's it, you know. That's just me, boy. You know, my man said objective fanboy is an oxymoron. Oh shit. Right? What about the New York Giants? Does that subject get personal? Yeah, that's very personal. Now that's different. You talk about my Giants and my Yankees. Don't go there. Don't go there. Especially if you're a Boston fan. Don't do it. I will block you. You will get blocked and you will be muted. You will be blocked. All right. And I will get my boys in Quantico and we will hunt you down. All right. All right. But anyway, listen. I appreciate you guys rocking out with me. I'm glad. Thank you for the super chat. For those who supported the super chat, my man Lionel, you know what I'm saying, Daniel J, you know, Garuda, man, all you guys have been fantastic. Thank you so much for supporting. Who else? Yeah, Daniel J, Garuda. Yeah, you guys have been fantastic. For everybody else that was there, that came along, that chatted with us, appreciate you stopping by and coming through. Don't forget to hit the like button. All right. But what I'm gonna do, I'm about to get off. I'm gonna play some games. That's how it is, you know. But I wanted to talk about these two topics before, you know what I'm saying. I just had to get it off my chest, and I'm glad you guys were here. All right. For those of you who are listening to this but weren't here live, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you're new, you know, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that bell to be notified. And then that's it. This is your boy Porter Rock 77. And I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. You take care. Peace.